light various aspects associated with this topic, thereby sparking discussions and stimulating new ideas. Deepo Jyotanadana, Deepo Hartu Me Papam, Deepo Me Hartu Satam. With this noble thought, let us start this evening by lighting the lamp in front of Mata Saraswati. Goddess Saraswati is a symbol of knowledge, music, art, wisdom and nature. I would invite Honorable Chief Guest and other faculty members to light the lamp. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. May the divine power blesses us all. Now, let's stand toward the university Kulgate.
जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य विश्वविद्यालय दिगंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान आलोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम
देश की स्वाधीनता भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन
निष्ठा कृति सत्यम के मंगल की भावों का समागम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
महाविद्यालय
सदचरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प से
नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
शेष सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम.
Now, I would like to take this opportunity to invite Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta sir to felicitate our honorable guest, Professor Dipali ma'am. I would like to call Professor Manisha Sengar ma'am to felicitate our guest, Dr. Sudeep Bose. I would like to call TIC sir, Indrakant sir to felicitate Kamal Kumar Gupta sir.
Now I would like to call Professor Manisha Sengar ma'am to felicitate Indrakant sir.
हमारे तरफ से आपको बुलाने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप इंद्रकांत सर मनीषा मैम
Cancer research and treatments, but there are still challenges to overcome. Researchers are constantly working on new therapies and technologies to improve outcomes. It's important to raise awareness and support those affected by cancers. So, without any further ado, let's begin our event. I'm honored to call upon stage Professor Manisha Sengar ma'am, who is also the organizing secretary of the International Symposium on Cancer, Current Status, Advances and Challenges, to say a few words. Ma'am.
Thank you, Anushka. A very good afternoon to our respected principal who has not been able to join us here today because he was busy with an emergent meeting with the Vice Chancellor, sir, all the principals of all the colleges. So our guest of honor, Dipali Sharma, are a very renowned scientist for her exemplary research from esteemed Johns Hopkins University, USA. Our another speaker, Dr. Sudeep Bose from Amity University, respected Kamal sir, and my dear teacher in charge, Indrakant Singh sir, and all the respected colleagues and my dear students. I, Professor Manisha Sengar, Organizing Secretary for this symposium on behalf of my organizing team, extend a very warm welcome to all the delegates and all the students to this International Symposium Cancer, Current Status, Advances and Challenges. Cancer studies involve complex interplay of genes, proteins and biological processes that drive the development of growth of cancer. So understanding the various biological systems underlying cancer development are essential to identify new targets for treatment. As the research today is concerned with genomic stability, in particular how cells normally ensure that no errors are made in copying the genome. Over the past decades, accumulating discoveries on cancer biology has provided new potential approaches to cure patients. The aim of this the symposium, is to apprise you all with the recent advances and share with you all the findings and opportunities for exploring new avenues. And these avenues are potential in fighting this global disease. The relentless efforts of such great researchers has played a pivotal role and contributed to the society. Cancer studies and such exchange programs and ideas focus on shaping the young minds to develop critical, logical and analytical thinking that will play a crucial role for their future competencies. Such programs help in igniting the interest of young minds towards science and research. I hope that this symposium will be an opportunity for the motivation to all our young minds, our dear students. I once again extend a very warm welcome from the core of my heart to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thoughtful words. Now, we would like to invite Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta, sir, to share some inspiring words.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
It's an honor and a proud privilege of mine to be here and putting the welcome note for the International Symposium on Cancer, Current Status, Advances and Challenges. I welcome today's guest of honor, Professor Dipali Sharma, a speaker, Dr. Sudhir Bose, and one more speaker who will be joining very soon, Dr. Seema Sharma. Welcome you, ma'am, for this conference, and thank you that you could accept our invitation. I welcome Teacher in Charge of Zoology Department, Professor Dr. Indrakant, Senior faculty, Professor Varsha Babeja, faculty from other departments, faculty, Dr. Rocky, Dr. Arun, Zoology Department, organizers, Organizing Secretary, Professor Manisha Segar, conveners, Dr. Sushma Sharma, then convener Dr. Rahul Jambal, and this Jaya Malhotra. So your efforts in organizing this conference is really praiseworthy. I welcome all the students, the audience, the delegates, and they are real beneficiaries who will be benefited by this conference. I always praise Zoology Department, though it's my department also, that we are leading in the college in hosting these conferences, symposiums, invited talks, and that too most apt and relevant. Same is true with the today's symposium on cancer biology. I just ask some of you, do you know cancer? I think all of you would have heard of cancer. You would have seen, I really wish that such a thing wouldn't arise in your family, but in your surroundings, in your neighborhood, you would have come across one or few of cancer patients. When we talk about the cancer, the very idea in the brain comes, it is a synonym of death, many times we say. It's a fear which comes, the very sound of this word. So what I say, as Professor Manisha was rightly saying, that it's a complex problem, but right from awareness, the very first thing is awareness about the cancer. Then diagnostics. If we get some symptoms similar to cancer, how many of you really think of it? How many of us really go to the diagnostics? After that, diagnostics, the treatment. Then, after treatment, affordability of the treatment. People do talk. This is a very, very passive statement. But they say the patient died due to cancer and a family member died due to expenditure in the treatment of cancer. After that, once the cancer patients are treated, then to gain a faith, yes, they have been cured, they have been treated. That itself is a challenging for rehabilitation. So what I'm to say, it's a multi-pronged. It's not personal, it's not the work of scientists only, it's not the work of doctor, the NGOs, everything is involved in this cancer, and then only this battle can be won. But, so that is not what would say hard core of the cancer. But now let's talk about this. This is so much pessimist approach I will talk. But right now there's so much advancement about the cancer. If diagnosed early, it can be completely curable. If it is diagnosed well in time, it can be managed well. So what I mean to say, right now the time has come to took the cancer as a challenge, to face it, to spread awareness. And who can do a better spread awareness campaign than you? You are all budding scientists. You can really spread a message in your surroundings, in your neighborhood about this. Anyway, I think while I'm speaking a little bit, just to get you energized, because I know the 3 talks are going to happen, are certainly going to be wonderful. I really want to say one thing, especially with Professor Dipali Sharma. She is trained with Johns Hopkins. She's a professor at Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore. And for the students especially, when we go to Johns Hopkins, it is world #1 institute as far as the biological sciences are concerned. So we get really privileged that we have with her Professor Dipali Sharma, who will share about her research experience. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। अब हम सभी चाहेंगे कि हमारे PIC सर, प्रोफेसर इम्तिकान सर आके यहाँ पे 2 शब्द कहें।
Good afternoon all. Dignitaries on dais, Honorable Speaker, Dr. Professor Dipali, Professor Sudeep, senior most member of our faculty, Professor Kamal Gupta sir, our senior, Professor Manisha Sengar, Professor Varsa Bameja, all my dear colleagues from our department and respected colleagues from other departments. Thank you so much for joining us, and all my dear students who are really excited to listen one of the most important topic. And now, at least 2 decades before, we are unable to listen this word. I mean, someone we come to know that, oh, some people have cancer, and then we are under fear. Now it's very common to listen that near or dear must have detected with this cancer or that cancer, right? So it's nothing uncommon. And even in UG, all the syllabus, we must have well acquainted with this topic, cancer, since your standard 12th biology, right? In your immunology, probably in life science as well as in honors, you have separate unit to talk about cancer, right? But that is within your framework. What we are going to listen today from Professor Dipali, that is beyond your framework, right? So it is always exciting to see something which is not visible from your eye, right? Or which is when you think beyond, out of box, right? So this is the most important opportunity we have to listen carefully, to imbibe it, plan your future, and if you have interest, you make your dream in reality. As you know, I have never talked anything on the dais without Vivekananda's quotes since my students' time. So this moment also, I just would like to take this opportunity to tell you one sentence from Swami Vivekananda, that is, you must keep a strict eye on your health. Let everything else be subordinated to that. It means health is most and foremost important thing. Right? So healthy mind, healthy body, and of course, best outcome. So take care of yourself, take care of your near and dear one. Be alert, be on time. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir. अब मैं आपको दीपाली शर्मा मैम की कुछ उपलब्धियों के बारे में बताना चाहूँगी. Professor Dipali Sharma received her bachelor's honors from the University of Delhi, followed by masters in science with specialization in endocrinology and biological chemistry. She was awarded a PhD degree in molecular biology by the University of Department of Medicine, Johns Hopkins. MAM's laboratory focuses on elucidating the molecular mechanism underlying breast cancer initiation and progression, and developing various preventive and treatment strategies using mouse model and human samples. MAM has uncovered that the pro-oncogenic colon micro potentiates breast cancer initiation and progression. Current projects aim to understand the mechanistic links between microbiota and
You can see from, they can affect various organs, and then they can also affect various right from like fatty acid oxidation to brown fat thermogenesis to lipogenesis to gluconeogenesis to neurodegeneration, even behavioral disorders. So they can actually impact various aspects of our life. And then this is a little bit of history for you guys. So 1670 was the discovery of microorganisms. And I apologize, this is a very busy slide, and I don't think that you all can read it, but just take my word. So 1670 there was discovery of microorganisms, and then moving forward in 17th century there was classification of plants and fungi. First vaccination was in 1796, and from there we have made a lot of progress over the years. And then in 1995, first genome of this Haemophilus influenzae was actually deciphered, and then 2005 was the Human Microbiome Project, which is now, now we have come up far and wide from that place, and this happened due to all these methods innovation. So now we have come to a place where a couple of years ago we would just do 16S RNA sequencing to look for the microbes, and now we can actually do shotgun whole genome sequencing, and from there we can decipher the strain level, strain level we can classify the ones. So now my lab, as I discussed earlier, I've been focusing on breast cancer. So there are multiple risk factors related to breast cancer, and you can appreciate that about 1 in 8 women, and this is US statistics, and I think Indian statistics is also kind of similar, it's 1 in 7 or something. And there are various factors that can affect breast cancer. Family history, genetic testing, genetic factors, essentially if someone has BRCA or mutation and such. And there are lifestyle associated factors, tobacco, alcohol, obesity, diet, lack of exercise. And there are other environmental factors, toxic exposures, radiation, ancestral exposures and such. And then there is personal history, dense breast, cancer in the family, pre-malignant disease, or chronic inflammatory diseases, HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, which was very, very popular for some time. And then we realized through a very, very big clinical trial that HRT is actually not beneficial for women. And those women who received HRT were at a high risk of developing breast cancer. But with all these factors, we have these risk calculators also. But it's very intriguing that about 70% of women will develop breast cancer, and they will have very low or no risk factor associated with all these. So where are we now? So we really have to think outside the box and look for other factors that might be actually impacted all these factors. And there we, I think I missed that picture. Yeah, so here Now we come to a point where we are looking at microbiota and microbiome, which can actually impact various risk factors. So microbiota in gut can actually impact someone's obesity state. If someone is exercising that physical activity to change the microbiota, you have a nascent microbiota that you're born with, but it changes over the time with your alcohol exposure or smoking and all those other factors that we discussed about. So essentially we can Enterobacteriaceae and Staphylococcus were highly enriched in the Irish cohort. So this is the of microbes in breast cancer tissue. And then with a comparison between these different tumor tissue, melanoma, lung, ovary, GBM, pancreas, bone and breast, and you can appreciate here that breast actually has the highest load of bacteria. So an organ which was considered sterile, no bacteria at all. Now if we compare across these tumor tissues, breast actually has the highest load of bacteria. And here the H&E slide is just showing you a tissue sample, and this is LPS staining, where again this brown staining shows the presence of bacteria, and this is 6 universal probe 16S rRNA. Again, this is fish showing you the presence of bacteria in breast cancer tissue. And here again, this is the Shannon Diversity Index. We talked about alpha diversity and the beta diversity earlier in the talk. And here we are showing that how if you compare across the tumor tissue, breast actually has the highest Shannon diversity. So the diversity of the microbiota is very rich here. And also the number of species that are present per sample is also highest in the breast cancer tissue. So here I think if people have been thinking about cancer, they might have actually read this very beautiful review from Hanahan and Weinberg, and they have been upgrading their hallmarks of cancer over the years. Every 10 years or so they have a review. It's a great review if someone wants to learn about cancer, Hanahan and Weinberg. So they talked about all these hallmarks of cancer, and as we look at the intestinal microbiota, actually intestinal microbiota can impact all these hallmarks of breast cancer via their toxins. And then we started our analysis with doing the metagenomic analysis, and we actually got samples breast tumor versus normal, then nipple aspirate fluid from breast cancer survivors versus healthy people, and then benign versus malignant breast cancer. So benign is when the tumor is just localized and it's just tumor, it's not cancer yet. And then malignant is when the cancer has actually spread out of the breast. So all the samples they all underwent 16S rRNA sequencing, and then we did this analysis to find out the comparison between all these different groups. And then so this is comparing microbiota of benign versus the malignant disease. And again, if we look at this looks pretty similar. But as we go forward, and there is a lumen in the center, that very clean lumen, no cells there. And as they start proliferating, this is ductal hyperplasia, and this is atypical hyperplasia, which is filling up the ducts more. And if you come here, this is the DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ. So essentially, these cells are learning how to proliferate uncontrollably and fill up the duct. So think about a water hose, which is working fine when there is nothing in the pipe. But when the pipe gets filled with some dirt or whatever, then the flow will be obliterated. So this is what it is. This is all the cells are now uncontrollably dividing and filling up the ducts. And this is invasive ductal carcinoma, when these cells will learn how to invade out of the basement membrane, and that's when it will make invasive ductal carcinoma. And then when we gave these mice the bacteria orally, look at these ducts here. So these ducts are actually filling up. So then this orally given bacteria could actually travel to breast, and now they can cause this ductal hyperplasia. And again, these are some of the staining that I am showing you. Again, the same thing, that these cells are filling up the duct and also very proliferate. So then the next question is that this was normal mouse, right? And they were coming up to the point where they are developing ductal hyperplasia, but ductal hyperplasia is not cancer, right? So the next question that I wanted to ask is that if we give this bug to, say, somebody who's susceptible of getting breast cancer, if someone has an oncogenic mutation or someone has a BRCA mutation, some other history where they are susceptible to developing breast cancer. So we took this mouse model, which is which is designed to develop spontaneously. They develop breast cancer in about 6 to 9 months. And the point to note is not every mouse in this group will develop cancer. So our yield is about 80%, 70% sometimes. So here we took this MMTV human HER2 mice. These are prone to develop cancer, and we gave them orally beef fragilis. And now these mice, actually you see the red line here. So these mice develop cancer in about 3 to 4 months, very early onset of cancer. So the latency, we call latency is the time to develop cancer. So the latency was shortened from 9 to 12 months to actually 4 months. And all these mice developed cancer, and also they all developed lung and liver metastasis. So here this is the control, lungs and liver are clean, and this is ETBF. You see these patches, they're not very clear somehow on here, but they're all metastatic lesions on lungs and then liver. And then we ask the next question, if gut or ductal ETBF infection, does it lead to metastatic progression of breast tumors? So here, we actually, again here, we designed this mouse model where we give the breast cancer cells intraductally, directly into the mammary glands, and then we gave the bug intraductally also. No, sorry, here the bug was given orally in the gut, and we see this red line here. So pay attention to the red line, which is the ETBF group, and this bug actually causes breast cancer progression, higher breast cancer progression. In the next step, we did intraductal 41 again. This is the cancer cells, and then again we gave the bacteria in the duct itself. So we give the cancer cells, and then on top of it we give the bacteria. And again the red line is the ETBF group, and green is the control group. And you can see that how bacteria makes these cancer cells grow faster. And then this is the liver and lung metastasis, and you can see here this is the ETBF group, higher metastatic lesions, and this is also, these are met diameters actually. So we see there are larger lesions in liver and lungs in the ETBF group, whereas the mutant of course did not cause any cancer growth, and also did not cause any metastatic spread. So we found out, so the next question that we wanted to ask is, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the seed and soil hypothesis or parallel dissemination. So essentially seed and soil hypothesis is that the seed is cancer cell and the soil is, say for example, when we plant a seed, we have to prepare the soil, right? Add something to it so that it can actually, the seed can grow there. So seed and soil hypothesis in very simple terms is that cancer cell is the seed. If primary tumor grows to some extent, then some of the cells will actually disseminate from the primary tumor, and these cells will go around in the body in circulation, lymphatic system, circulatory system, and when they reach the fertile soil, say for example for breast cancer cells, they will go directly to lung and liver, and their liver and lung are already primed. They are ready to take the cancer cells. So in that fertile soil, the cancer cell will grow and then form a metastasis. So here we wanted to ask if bacteria can now we know that bacteria can actually moderate the cancer cell. The next question was that can it also
जैसे कि हमारा क्वेश्चन था कि कैंसर में भी जैसे कि एआई को इन्वॉल्व नहीं करना है इसके डिटेक्शन या प्रिवेंशन में, क्योंकि जो हमारी ट्रेडिशनल मेथड थी यही कि पहले वो डिजीज़ होगी, फिर बायोप्सी वगैरह होगी, तो फिर उसका कुछ ट्रीटमेंट आगे होगा, तो मतलब एआई से कुछ जल्दी प्रिवेंशन हो या इसका ट्रीटमेंट हो.
So I think how it's actually in infancy right now. So it's not that AI is being used very, very actively right now, but some people are and some companies are developing tools based on AI so that they can look at the minute changes that maybe pathology can also overlook, or some other, if somebody, some radiologists, when they are reading the mammograms, maybe they cannot detect a fine, very, very fine lesion or something. So maybe AI can detect if we train them to read the mammograms more carefully than a radiologist. So that's one place where it's being used. The other place is screening. So screening for potential preventive agents. So that is also ongoing because prevention is always better than cure. So if we can have some prevention agents, and not for healthy people. Maybe healthy people can just try to maintain their diet and exercise and all healthy routines as we just discussed. But if somebody is actually at a high risk category, say for example, what are the risk factors? People who have a blood relative who have had cancer, or somebody who has some benign breast disease. So those people can be benefited with these prevention agents where AI can actually play a role. But I would say that right now it's very upcoming field. So we don't have anything in clinic yet.
मैम मतलब जेनेटिक रोल प्ले करती है कैंसर
Yes.
जैसे कि अगर उसके मतलब फैमिली मेंबर्स में किसी को कैंसर हुआ तो चांसेस है कि इसके जो अगली होगी पीढ़ी उसमें भी हो सकती है।
Yes, yes. So genetics and lifestyle factors are very, very important. I think this is another take-home message that you should take. Alcohol, we don't consider alcohol as a risk factor, right? And whenever we talk about alcohol as a risk factor, some people may not even like us. But alcohol, even in minute quantities, like a glass a day or maybe a glass in a week, also has very profound effect on our genetics, our methylation actually. You might have heard about methylation, the epigenetics. So there also an epigenetic changes are taken to progeny. So there have been experiments where mice are exposed to alcohol or smoke, smoking. So they have been exposed to smoke or alcohol. They have been given high-fat diet, so they become obese. And these moms, potential moms, the female mice, when they have pups, those pups actually have those epigenetic marks. So all these lifestyle factors that we think are kind of limited to us, or who cares and this is my life, you're actually gathering all those epigenetic genetic changes that you'll be giving off to your progeny. And coming back to your first question, yes, if somebody's mom or sister, if they have had breast cancer, they have higher risk of getting breast cancer. So it's advisable that they start their mammogram. So usually now the screening tools are such that earlier it was said that okay, everybody who was reaching the age of 45 should get an annual mammogram, and no fear. I think this is also something that you young people should advocate when you go out in society, that every female who's hitting that 45 years of age should get out and get the mammogram, if not annually, at least twice, like once in 2 years. And also, if somebody's relative, somebody's mom, sister, if they develop breast cancer, they automatically in higher breast cancer category. So they should get their BRCA1 testing done. I'm not asking you to get very fearful. Just get that testing done. And if you have BRCA1 mutation, then you just get that mammogram done every year. Although you are younger, maybe you are 30 years old, maybe you are 24 years old. But if you fall in that category, just get that done. Because early detection is the key for breast cancer. Earlier detection can actually lead to 99% cure. Like 98 to 90%, 98% people can be cured. He has cancer, you can really, everybody can pitch in to help actually. Actually, instead of asking that, oh my God, how did you get it? I never imagined that you would get it. You were such a good person.
Ma'am, you have talked about environmental factor. Can you think, India has so many eco zones, so any particular environment is more favorable to prevent it?
I think we have.
मैं यही सोचा कि सोशल साइंस वाले क्या इसमें कर सकते हैं कि सोशल साइंस वाले मेडिकल सर्वे करके कि इंडिया के किस किस जोन में कैंसर पेशेंट और किस तरह के कैंसर पेशेंट ज़्यादा है, उसका अगर सर्वे किया जाए तो जो इन्वायरमेंटल फैक्टर आप कह रहे हैं, योगर्ट खाने वाली बात कर रहे हैं, वह कुछ आएगा, सर्वे में आएगा कि इस इन्वायरमेंट में कैंसर ज़्यादा होते हैं, इसमें नहीं। और असुविधा भी
I think this is a great question also. Because when we talk about prevention, we have to look at the wholesome prevention. Prevention is not just popping a tamoxifen every day and thinking that, oh, I will not get cancer. Prevention is also thinking about a healthy lifestyle. And there have been studies that have shown that how Mediterranean diet is associated with cancer prevention. And what is that diet, by the way? It's rich in fiber, right? So now we know that okay, fiber is good because it does a lot of thing in our body, because it can have better metabolites, and now we know that some of the healthy bugs, some beneficial bacteria actually need that fiber to grow. So when we talk about prebiotic is essentially giving food to the bacteria. So bacteria needs food also. So prebiotic is fibers. They are food for healthy bacteria. Healthy bacteria is probiotic, and then postbiotic is this healthy bacteria is producing something good, which is postbiotic. So how do we get this chain settled? So yes, there are regions in our country also which have higher incidence of cancer, and they are associated with a lot of use of pollutants and sometimes the toxins, sometimes agricultural chemicals and all. So those people are definitely more prone to getting cancer. But then there are parts which are eating lean meat like fish and all, lot of salads, and those families or those societies will actually have less incidence of cancer. And there is a study in US where they looked at, say, charred meat, which is a dead now, and you might know it already that there is, Mediterranean diet is preventive, so people, do take that and then maintain that.
Just did you find microbiota pattern difference between the adjacent normal versus cancer, or how, or it is very much similar? Because I worked in gut microbiota and colon cancer, and I had very hard time to get the control. So, whether you got the healthy volunteers breast FNA sample for the microbiota study?
So I think it's a field effect. So say for example, if you're finding B phage in the tumor tissue, the peritumoral region might have lesser abundance of it, but the adjacent normal or a healthy normal person will not have that. So our healthy volunteers. Is it okay?
Ma'am, as you mentioned the direct relationship between microbiome and cancer. So like in affected patients, like nowadays gut transplantation is most common. So like in affected patients, can it happen that it can activate the proto-oncogene? Like suppressed genes, can it activate it rather than improving the gut health?
Are you talking about FMT, fecal gut microbiota?
Yes.
Right. So FMT is actually very intriguing. It may sound not very good, FMT, fecal microbiota transplant, but it's been done with the capsules. So what they do is they take there have been clinical trials on that. So they have taken fecal microbiota sample from. Okay, so are there any healthy?
Seema Sharma ma'am also.
सुषमा मैम को भी बुला लो.
Now I would like to request Dr. Sushma Sharma ma'am to kindly welcome our honorable speaker, Dr. Seema Sharma.
We are all friends.
So yeah,
She is my
yes, yeah.
Come Seema, then we are friends. All of us.
I would like to request Dr. Sushma ma'am to invite Dr. Seema ma'am. To welcome and felicitate Dr. Seema ma'am. OB and gynecologist in Apollo Cradle, Moti Nagar, New Delhi. Ma'am की qualifications हैं MBBS, DGO, fellowship in minimal access surgery, and she is one of the member of the Royal College of OB and Gynecology. Ma'am has more than 27 years of experience in her field. Ma'am's professional areas of interest are OB, GYN, infertility, sexual medicine, and cosmetic surgery. Ma'am is also running her daycare center with an excellent patient satisfaction rate. Ma'am has authored 4 books for Royal College of OB and has also contributed many chapters in these books. Ma'am is a founder of NGO Prati Sandhi Foundation. Ma'am has also conferred Princess Diana Foundation Award for exemplary humanitarian service through Sex Ed 2020. Ma'am is also a regular speaker speaker on Josh TV, television and radio shows. She has expertise in vaginoplasty, evaluations of infertility, high-rate pregnancy care, hymen repair, and many more. Her list is never ending. So I welcome Dr. Seema ma'am.
So Dr. Seema has also, let me add a line for her because she is a very renowned gynecologist and she has been doing vaginal reconstruction surgery for uterus prolapse patients, rape victims. So she's a big name and that's why she was awarded by Prince Charles. So let me put this also to your ears.
Thank you so much, Professor Manisha. Thank you for inviting me here. I have a very short talk and I would like to give you very practical pointers which would help you in your life. I'm so sorry for the PPT fiasco that happened. I thought I had already sent here, so it didn't reach. We've asked for my laptop from my car, but in the meantime I will start. Like you've been just mentioned and told about that I run a NGO. It is called Sati Foundation. We talk about sexual education in youngsters, which is the reason why I am here to talk about the cervical cancer. How many of you have heard about cervical cancer and know what it is? Acha, abhi pura pakka, okay. Alright. So cervix we know is the entry to the uterus. Yeah?
Can we change the mic also?
Hello?
Ma'am? दीपाली तेरी फ्रेंड है? हाँ
लग जाएगी
And how many of you have got the cervical cancer injections done? 3. Okay. Now, we all know that cervical cancer is one of the most important cancers in Indian women, and almost 3 lakh women die every year of cervical cancer. And the thing is that unlike breast cancer, though of course breast is also preventable to a certain extent, cervical cancer in a huge percentage can be prevented if we take vaccine and if we take good sexual hygiene measures in our lives. Okay. The causative organism of cervical cancer is an HPV, that is a human papilloma virus. Is it COVID hota hai na? COVID was, we were inhaling the COVID virus. HPV virus comes into our bodies through sexual contact. Whether is it mouth to penis, whether it is mouth to vagina or anal sex. It can spread through genital secretions. And once it comes into your body, many percentage will just eliminate it through your immunity. But some percentages who have not developed the mechanisms to clear it will develop a persistent HPV infections in their body. Now once you have the HPV virus in your system, 10 to 15 years down the line, you can have cervical cancer, you can have vaginal cancers, you can have anal cancers, and you can also have part of upper head and neck cancers. And in men, it can also cause penile cancers, and also anal cancers and head and neck cancers. So this is the only vaccine which is used for any kind of disease now available, which you can take. As early as 9 years of age, people can take this virus, can take this vaccine. Men can take it, women can take it. Like I have taken it, I've given it to my daughter, I've given it to my son as well. Though Government of India does not specify that men should take it, because once they say men should take it, they also have to make it available. Since it's an expensive vaccine, they say, well, at least let the women have it. So it's a set of 2 injections that every girl should take. If you've not yet had sexual intercourse, 1 is sufficient. If you've already had sexual intercourse, then 2 are needed. It is something like, India-Pakistan border pe bandukein lagi hui hai. One thing is we are preventing the So we have now Cervix has become outdated, it is no longer available. We have over 100 different types of HPV viruses. Some of them are high risk, some of them do not cause cancers. So हमारे जो injections हैं, they will cover more important 4 types, and now Gardasil 9 will cover 9 types, which will also prevent the genital warts. So, if you've already got a virus in your system, should you still be vaccinated? I think I've already answered myself. Well, yes. A lot of people ask me this question. कि मैम हमने सुना है 25 साल के बाद ये वायरस, this vaccine is not effective, should I still take it? It is expensive. I just answered that not all terrorists will be killed, but some terrorists will still be killed. So it is effective if you can afford it. Now Government of India gives it free supply. Servavac is by the Serum Institute. It is available free of cost in government hospitals. In fact, well, they do not cause cervical cancer. At the moment, the only causative factor that we know of is an HPV infection.
और मैम जैसे सैनिटरी पैड्स यूज़ करते हैं अलग अलग डिफरेंट कंपनीज के, और वो काफ़ी 5 to 6 आवर्स के बाद चेंज करना होता है, बट अगर चेंज नहीं करते तो वो ब्लैक हो जाता है, तो दैट कैन बी कैंसरस फॉर सर.
Well, you know, आजकल क्या हो रहा है ना, जो सैनिटरी नैपकिन्स बनते हैं, they are made from recycled papers. So sometimes they are, and you know, a lot of people believe that they are very chemically disinfected. They are not. So if they have a lot of dye in them and it persistently keeps in touch with your skin, it can cause skin irritation. Using a lot of talcum has been found to give you ovarian cancers, but not related to cervical cancer. It can cause infections, but this hype of cervical cancer is little overrated with the use of tampons and menstrual bags.
Questions? Kanisha.
Why are women more likely to develop cervical cancer?
Because that's a very good question. In our country, penile cancers are not as much as the cervical cancer, and the reason is that the seminal secretions, they stay inside a woman's body for longer. So once it has been ejaculated, it stays in. So there is a higher likelihood that the virus will just climb in. That's the reason.
Ma'am, it is known that it is a myth around that underwire bras can cause breast cancer or cancer-related issues. Is it true?
We have a breast cancer specialist. No. Well, I also just mentioned that, you know, somebody asked about perfume products and all those things. It's little hype that they will cause cancer. Similar to that is the wired bras. They don't. They may cause skin irritation. They may increase your tendency for fungal infections. But I don't know if they increase. I don't think so. Good.
But we are in touch every now and then. My father goes to her parents. बस वहीं बैठे रह जाते हैं. He doesn't want to come back.
पढ़ाई वाली फील्ड में बहुत पढ़ाई
मैंने ला दिया पर तेरे साथ नहीं रहा है.
I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Sudeep Bose, sir.
अपनी कुर्सी पे.
Dr. Sudeep Bose sir has completed his PhD in biochemistry from Banaras Hindu University in the year 2000. After working briefly as a postdoctoral student at the Bose Institute under DBT-sponsored protein engineering project, he moved to Department of Biochemistry, Medical University of South Carolina, Charleston, USA. He is currently a professor at Amity University of Biotechnology, Amity University, Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Sir has specialization in cancer biology, RNA biology, transcription and post-transcriptional regulation, post-translational modifications, and nanotechnology. He has many PhD students working under his guidance. He has been honored with several awards and fellowships, to name a few. Trainee Award from Endocrine Society for Endocrine Training, San Francisco. Pilot project award from Center for Health Disparities Research, Medical University of South Carolina. Some of SIR's undergoing projects are multiple protein biomarker detection, platform for breast cancer using quantum dots on a needle-shaped nanostructure gold array, analysis of angiotensin type 2 receptor signaling in PAX2 gene expression in cancer. There is also published more than 30 research papers. It's a never-ending list and it is impossible to conclude it in just few minutes. Now I would like to invite Sir on stage. Kindly, I would like to request
Hello. So thank you, students, for your nice words for me, and I hope rest of the students are partly sleepy. Just please cooperate with me at the last lecture. And unfortunately, whenever I go to the conference, either I get the last one or just the last one. At that time, the students start to look for the exit gate. But I will try my best with the basics, because I have been told to do the basics of the cancer things. So my field is again breast cancer here. I worked before in the leukemia and prostate cancer and as well as neuroendocrinology. But here, after coming back to India, I am working with my students and my collaborators on right now on the breast cancer. So I have today's topic is exploring the nutraceuticals or you can say phytochemicals for cancer therapeutics. So, and little bit I will tell you about is that I need this one or I'm okay. Cancer detection. So I work in this under in the founder president Sir Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan in Amity University, whose dream is know that by 2030 the India will become a superpower of knowledge. So, as you have read, cancer, so it is an abnormal growth, you know, and how it happens with the dysregulation of multiple gene expression. I have taken also from the same book you have read, Raymond's in Cancer Biology. So that dysregulated gene expression, what it leads? It's a disbalance between the cell growth here. So you can see Kerala, Karnataka, Gujarat and other Andhra Pradesh, there is 40, 42, 41, 45% cancer incidences. One question, once are asked, he left now, what is maybe the reason? So if you have back to the Punjab belt, there is a Gujarat, Punjab belt, there is a pesticides. Lots of pesticides are used in our agriculture field. So that pesticide has been found a potent carcinogen that we are getting every day in our fruits and vegetables. Other risk factors are, as ma'am discussed, family history of cancer, okay, reproductive infertility, okay, then obesity, alcoholism, smoking, hormone therapy are the major risk factors. So there are 3 stages of assessment. In the initial first stage is the initial assessment. So just by going with the symptoms, just go to the doctors, inflammation, pain, loss of appetite. Then second, you do the mammogram, stage 6 आप दूसरी बीमारी की वजह से आप कैंसर की बात करते हैं तो lifestyle, the previous breast cancer specialist also have mentioned, and I also told. There are genetic factors, lifestyle definitely is there, okay, and there is one called metastasis. आप ये जानते हैं alcoholism से liver cirrhosis होता है, liver hepatocellular carcinoma होता है, and that can lead to bone metastasis, दूसरे cancer होता है. But at the same time, I won't say 100% alcoholism से और इससे ही cancer होता है और दूसरे से cancer नहीं होता है. For example, if I give just a personal information, my dad died of stomach cancer. Okay, I have a family history of cancer. My two paternal aunts died of cancer. That time they are not modern like that. They do not have alcohol. They do not have smoke. They are very disciplined person, but they died. Why? It's a cancer gene. It's a family history of cancer. It is present. So, but I won't encourage you that एक पैक रोज हैप्पी आवर में ले लो, कैंसर नहीं होगा. No, I won't say that.
Question about the real case of like the person smokes for 1 or 2 years.
Person smoke for 1 or 2 years. Okay.
In the past, like
in the past,
10 years or 20 years ago.
Okay.
So what is the chance of getting cancer? Like is it more than the non-smoker or is it like he smoked like 10 years ago?
Personally, if I say
I cordially invite Mohammad Shehzad sir to present a memento as a token of appreciation to Dr. Sudeep Bose sir.
हाँ भाई जयमाला होंगे.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So as we are near to the conclusion of our symposium, I graciously invite Dr. Sushma ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Sushma ma'am and Dr. Rahul sir has been an integral part of our organizing committee and has played a significant role in ensuring the success of the event. As we draw to a close of this enlightening symposium, it's my privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all those who have contributed to the success of this event. Sushma ma'am.
Greetings everyone. Before I express my gratitude, should I invite you all for a photograph or should we wait?
We'll wait because
Okay.
we'll be having sir and ma'am and everybody to video.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So I, Dr. Sushma Sharma, on behalf of Department of Zoology, Deshbandhu College, our teacher in charge, our organizing team members and student volunteers of this event, thank all those who have directly or indirectly contributed and were associated with the success of this international symposium on cancer, current status, advances and challenges. First of all, I would like to extend a hearty vote of thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Dipali Sharma, our speakers, Dr. Seema Sharma ma'am and Dr. Sudeep Bose sir. Thank you all of you for this interesting, informative and well-organized talk. It was indeed a pleasure to listen to you all. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. You made this session very interactive. We are thankful to our esteemed Principal Sir, Professor Rajendra Kumar Pandey, for his enthusiastic approach, support and cooperation. Thank you so much, sir. I sincerely thank our teacher in charge, Professor Indrakant, for his guidance and support to materialize this event. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to our senior faculty members, Professor Kamal Kumar Gupta sir, Professor Sunil Kayas sir, and Professor Varsha Vaveja ma'am for materializing this event, giving their valuable inputs, courage and support. I am grateful to my fellow colleagues of Department of Zoology, our organizing team members for their help, support and guidance, because nothing is possible without a strong team support. Special thanks to Professor Manisa Singh ma'am for giving idea to conduct this international symposium in a very short duration and doing all the hard work to conduct this event a success one, and for the constant motivation and guidance. Thank you, ma'am. And my thanks to Dr. Jaya Malhotra ma'am and Dr. Rahul Jamwal for their help, valuable suggestions and all the hard work. Rahul sir, whatever you did for this event. And heartfelt thanks to our student volunteers, Ruth, Priyanshu, Kunal, Prerna, Akshdeep, Aditya, Anushka, Kumkum, Bhavya, Shubham, Ayush and so many, Akanksha and all these audiences who are sitting there. Abhiru, Tanushri, so many students, because of, without you, this event won't be happened. Yes, this is because of you people. So we appreciate your hard work for the success of this event. And at last, I thank all the participant audiences who have attended this event and making this event successful. All the questions you asked have made the session more interesting. Thank you. Okay. So with these warm words and kind message, we move to the end of today's event. Thank you all once again, and kindly fill the feedback form, and before we have the commemorative photograph. Thank you. Actually, Jaya ma'am is attending one faculty development program in some college which is organized by the university, and this is compulsory for all the teachers who are teaching this back paper. So that's why ma'am is not here. So ma'am is attending FDP there.
The link for the feedback form is on the screen. You can just fill the form right now. Yes or no? Yes, sir.
So those who are here, who will fill the form will get the certificate and attendance.
I need stage.